The Human Self and Iblees. Translation of Iblees O Adam. Translated and edited. Dr. Ajaz Rasul, UK. The Quranic concept of Satan and perspective on human desires, emotions, intellect and wahi. Author. Ghulam Ahmad Parwez. 10 more on wahi. The linguistic meanings of the word wahi are: A refined, invisible signal in which speed is also incorporated. A swift, extremely refined signal. B. Penmanship. To write. C. To command. D. To communicate some matter to someone in such a way that he becomes aware of it, regardless of what the medium or means to do so may be. But within this terminology the connotation is that knowledge which is given to some human being directly from the direction of Allah. The possessor of this is called a Nabi, and a non-Nabi cannot be any part of this. This process of wahi ended with Rasulullah, the final Nabi in the line of Anbiya. After this, no one can receive direct knowledge from the direction of Allah. Whoever claims this is essentially claiming Nubuwwat. This is the reason that concepts like Kashf, Ilm, etc. are all non-Quranic and are the causes for breaking the seal of Nubuwwat. There was only one name for direct knowledge to be received from the direction of Allah, i.e., Wahi, and that process has now ceased. Furthermore, the guidance which has been placed within the things of the universe, and according to which these are all busy in carrying out their respective duties and remaining on their instinctive path, is also defined as Wahi. The word Wahi in the Quran has been used in relation to its common meanings, linguistic, and also according to its special terminology. For example, in the reference to the messenger Zachariah, it is said to him that he should not talk to people for 3 nights, consequently. Zachariah said, "O my Rab, give me a sign." Your sign, was the answer, shall be that you shall speak to no man for 3 nights, although you are not dumb. So, Zachariah came out to his people from his chamber. He told them by signs to always remain busy in obedience to the laws of Allah. 19. 10-11. Here the meaning of Wahi is that of making a sign. In Surah Al-An'am it is said, "Likewise did we make for every messenger an enemy, evil ones among men and jinns, inspiring each other with flowery discourses by way of deception." 6. 112. Here the meaning of Wahi is to whisper amongst each other. A little later it is stated, "But Satans ever inspire their friends to contend with you. If you were to obey them, you would indeed be pagans." 6. 121. Here the meaning of Wahi is to provoke suspicion, or to give a command. These are the linguistic meanings of the word Wahi, but as explained earlier, one knowledge is that which man acquires via his intellect and reasoning. The doors of acquiring this knowledge are open for everyone according to their effort and capacity. But the other knowledge is the one which cannot be obtained through intellect and reasoning by oneself. Instead it is received automatically from the same direction from which things of the universe receive their creation, i.e., its source is the Mash'rit of Allah. This is received directly from Allah. Every single thing in the universe is assiduously carrying out its respective duties on the basis of this knowledge which is contained within it. 10.1 Types of Wahi. In Surah Ha-Mim it is said, "So he completed them as 7 firmaments in 2 days. And he assigned to each heaven its duty and command." 41:12. This is that Wahi according to which Allah's Amr of planning is implemented in these heavenly heights, and in this manner every stellar body is busy in carrying out its assigned duty. Similarly, it is stated about the earth that on the day of judgment, it will gush forth its hidden secrets, and this will also be according to the Wahi of Allah. On that day will it declare its tidings. For that your Rabb will have given it inspiration. Wahi. 99, 4-5. In connection with the Battle of Badr, it is stated about the Malaika. Remember, it was that time when your Rabb inspired Malaika with the message, I am with you. Give firmness to Mu'mineen. 8-12. Similarly, the word wahi is also used for the way in which animals carry out functions according to their instincts. Hence it is proclaimed about the best of architects in the world of nature, i.e., the honeybee. And your Rabb taught the bee to build its cells in hills, on trees, and in men's habitations. 16. 68. 10.2 Guidance. This wahi has also been termed as guidance from Allah, i.e., Allah granted creation to each thing and then also placed within it this potential according to what pattern it was to live its life. He said, Our Rabb is He who gave to each created thing its form and nature and further gave it guidance. 20. 50. See also 87. 2-3. This is that very same guidance on the basis of which the stone of a mango, journeying through its evolutionary stages, gradually turns into a beautifully colored, delicious tasting, fragrant mango. This is that same guidance, as a result of which the moment a lamb is born it leaps to the teats of the ewe, and the young of a sparrow opens its mouth for a seed. 10.3 The human world. Up till now this was a description of those aspects of the universe in which humans were not included. Or if man is included, then it would only be up to the early life of his childhood, in which he also, like other animals, behaves as per his natural instincts. For example, at the time of his birth he too seeks the mother's breast for food. But after this, that aspect of the human world comes before us in which he functions by making use of his intellect and reasoning. Obviously, in this aspect he does not receive any guidance from within. That process of wahi ends here, which in the case of animals remains with them throughout their whole life. Now the question which arises is this: has man been left free in this matter so that he can make decisions based merely on his intellect in whatever way he wishes? We have seen in the previous pages that man has not been left forsaken like this, but he has also been provided with guidance from the direction of Allah. However, the technique of this guidance has been changed. It has not been implanted in the heart of the son of Adam automatically. If it had been done in this way, then man would also have been constrained like the animals and would have carried on with eyes shut on the direction of this inner voice. But man has been bestowed with choice and intent, consequently such a technique has been adopted for his guidance, as a result of which there can be no influence on his choice and intent. In other words, if his heart desires he can opt for this guidance, or if he wishes he can rebel against it. The method adopted for this guidance was that, from amongst men some were selected for this supreme aim, and they were provided with that guidance through which man could reach the objective of his life by living according to this guidance. This guidance used to be received by this eminent human being through wahi, and he used to be told to communicate it to other people. In other words, he would also be given this wahi without any skill and effort, just as it is received by other things of the universe. But he would also be charged with this responsibility that he should act on this wahi himself and also make it reach other people. The human being who was entrusted with this wahi would be called a Nabi or Rasul. No non-Nabi is included in this. Any individual who states that I receive wahi from Allah should be understood to be claiming that he is a Nabi and Rasul from the direction of Allah. 10.4 Forms of mutual communication. The Quran has referred to both these cases in one verse. It is not fitting for a man that Allah should speak to him except by wahi, or from behind a veil, or by the sending of a messenger to reveal to other people, with Allah's permission, what Allah wills. For He is most high, most wise. 42. 51. The first form of wahi is that the message of Allah is inspired on the heart of a Nabi via the Malaika. Say, whoever is an enemy to Jibreel, for he brings down the revelation to your heart by Allah's will, a confirmation of what went before, and guidance and glad tidings for those who are mu'minin. 297. See also 26, 192 to 194. The other form is by way of a voice behind a veil, as stated in the case of Moses. And we called him from the right side of Mount Tur, and made him draw near to us, for the whispering of wahi. 1952. This is how wahi used to be received by the Anbiya, and they used to communicate this wahi to other human beings. This is called risalat, messengerhood. 10.5 The process of wahi for divine guidance. This is that process of wahi which commenced at that time when man was in need of guidance in the world. And this process, continuing forth stage by stage, caravan to caravan, reached its final and complete form and became preserved in the Quran. We have sent you wahi, as we sent it to Noah and the messengers after him. We sent wahi to Abraham, Ismail, Isaac, Jacob and the tribes, to Jesus, Job, Jonah, Aaron, and Solomon, and to David we gave the Psalms. Of some messengers we have already told you the story. Of others we have not. And to Moses Allah spoke direct messengers who gave good news as well as warning, that mankind, after the coming of the messengers, should have no plea against Allah. For Allah is exalted in power, wise. 4. 163 to 165. It is stated in Surah Ash-Shura. The same deen has he established for you as that which he enjoined on Noah, the which we have sent by wahi to you, and that which we enjoined on Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. Namely, that you should remain steadfast in deen, and make no divisions therein. To those who follow other things than Allah, hard is the way to which you call them. Allah chooses to himself those whom he wills, as per law, and guides to himself, to the aim of life, those who turn to him. Opening parenthesis. 42. 13. See also 42. 3. About the messenger Noah it is stated, so we sent wahi to him with this message: construct the ark within our sight and under our guidance. 23. 27. In Surah Anbiya, after mentioning Abraham, it is stated, and we bestowed on him Isaac, and, as an additional gift, a grandson, Jacob, and we made righteous men of everyone of them, and we made them leaders, guiding men by our command, and we sent them wahi to do good deeds, to establish salat, and to execute zakat, nourishment of humanity. And they constantly served us, followed my laws. 21. 72 to 73. Moses was told, go to the court of Pharaoh with your brother Aaron, and announce there the invitation to Allah's proclamation. Verily it has been revealed to us that the penalty awaits those who reject and turn away. 20. 48. There was no Rasul who did not receive wahi, because only he is declared to be a Rasul, messenger, who comes with this message. Not a messenger did we send before you without this wahi sent by us to him, that there is no God but I. In the universe there is no other law but mine. Therefore follow me and serve me. 21. 25. See also 16. 43, 39. 65. The Quran was revealed to Rasulullah in the form of wahi. We have sent it down as an Arabic, clear and detailed language, Quran, in order that you may learn wisdom. We do relate unto you the most beautiful of narrations, in that we reveal to you this portion of the Quran. Before this, you too were among those who knew it not. 12. 2 to 3. See also 42, 7. At another place it has been declared as the book. And recite, and teach, what has been revealed to you, as Wahi, of the book of your Rabb. None can change his words, and none will you find as a refuge other than him. 18, 27. See also 17, 39, 29, 45, 35, 31. The foremost and fundamental proclamation of the former Anbiya was also about the Tawheed, oneness of Allah. Say, what has come to me by Wahi is that your Ilah is one Allah. Will you therefore bow to his will? In Islam. Single quote opening parenthesis. 21, 108. Rasulullah used this very Wahi to inform people about the consequences and effects of the laws of life devised by men. Say, I do but warn you according to Wahi, of the consequences of following the evil path. But the deaf will not hear the call, even when they are warned. 21, 45. See also 38, 70. It was through this same Wahi that the command was given to follow the millet of Abraham. So we have sent you Wahi, follow the ways of Abraham the true in Iman, and he joined not gods with Allah. 16, 123. This Wahi used to come from the direction of Allah, the wise and omniscient. As to you, the Quran is bestowed upon you, from the presence of one who is wise and all-knowing. 27, 6. The teaching of this Quran to Rasulullah and then its amalgamation was also the responsibility of Allah. It is for us to collect it and to promulgate it. But when we have promulgated it, follow you its recital, repeat it the same way and follow it steadfastly. 75, 17 to 18. The compilation of the Quran and its teaching is our responsibility, and when we have read it to you, our angel has communicated it to you. Then obey its recitation, reiterate it and act firmly on it in the same way. 10.6 Wahi is not just inspiration of thoughts. Look at this verse, 75, 18, closely when we recite then read after this recitation. This is the reality of Wahi. Not only that of merely putting thoughts into the heart, but to have the words read in the way that an instructor teaches a student. Here, this fact also becomes clear that not only are the meanings of the Quran Wahi, but its words are also Wahi. Details of this subject can be found under the topic of Quran. It will be sufficient here to simply note that no thought is possible without words. As Iqbal has noted, it is no mere metaphor to say that idea and word both simultaneously emerge out of the womb of feeling, though logical understanding cannot. Together with this, Allah has also clarified that the fountainhead of Wahi is always absolutely objective. The personal thoughts, emotions, inclinations, and preferences of the recipient of Wahi have absolutely no part in it, i.e., the knowledge of Wahi is not subjective. As a result, it is stated in Surah An-Najm. Nor does he say aught of his own desire. 53, 3. 10.7 Recitation of Wahi. Then, as has been written earlier, the aim of communication of Wahi is that it is a code of life for mankind. This is why Rasulullah was commanded that he should communicate it to others also. O Messenger, proclaim the message which has been sent to you from your Rabb. If you did not, you would not have fulfilled and proclaimed his mission. And Allah will defend you from men who mean mischief. For Allah guides not those who are kafirin. 5, 67. 10.8 Obedience of Wahi. And not only to communicate it but to also follow Wahi himself. Follow you the inspiration, Wahi, sent unto you, and be patient and constant till Allah does decide, for he is the best to decide. 10, 109. See also 10, 35, 32. 15. It is commanded to hold steadfastly onto it. So hold you fast to the wahi sent down to you. Verily are on a straight path. 43. In other words, Rasulullah used to be commanded to pass this wahi on to others and then to establish a society in accordance with it in which all the members of the society follow wahi. And it was not something new, the process of wahi and risalat and the practice of its obedience was ongoing from the beginning. Say, I am no bringer of new-fangled doctrine among the messengers, nor do I know what will be done with me or with you. I follow but that which is revealed to me by wahi. I am but a warner open and clear. 46. 9. Through obedience of wahi man always remains on the straight path, and other than this there is no other form of guidance at all. Regardless of what anyone might say. Say, if I am astray, I only stray to the loss of my own self. But if I receive guidance, it is because of the wahi of my Rabb to me. It is he who hears all things, and is ever near. 34. 50. O Messenger, say to them that if I make an error in the planning of affairs of society, then that error is one of my own understanding. And where I am exactly on the straight path, it is due to this wahi which my Rabb sends down to me. Undoubtedly he hears everything and is near to everyone. 10.9 Definitive knowledge. This is because only wahi is certain and definitive knowledge in which there is not a speck of doubt or conjecture. Rasulullah is told, never will the Jews or the Christians be satisfied with you unless you follow their form of millet. Deen. Say, the guidance of Allah, that is the only guidance. Were you to follow the desires after the knowledge which has reached you, then would you find neither protector nor helper against Allah. 2. 120. This is because Allah sends down wahi from His knowledge. But Allah bears witness that what He has sent unto you He has sent from His own knowledge. 4. 166. And battle cannot come anywhere near it. No falsehood can approach it from before or behind it. It is sent down by one full of wisdom, worthy of all hamd. 41. 42. 10.10 Wahi about the unseen. Because wahi is based on the knowledge of Allah, hence those unseen matters are revealed in it which cannot otherwise come within the sphere of human knowledge. In relation to the narrative of Maryam it is stated, this is part of the tidings of the things unseen, which we reveal unto you. O Messenger, by wahi, you were not with them when they cast lots with arrows, as to which of them should be charged with the care of Maryam. Nor were you with them when they disputed the point. 3. 44. After the account of Noah, the Quran states, such are some of the stories of the unseen, which we have revealed unto you. Before this, neither you nor your people knew them. So persevere patiently, for the end is for those who are muttaqin. Follow the divine laws completely. 11. 49. In connection with the story of Yusuf it is stated, such is one of the stories of what happened unseen, which we reveal by wahi unto you. Nor were you present with them when they concerted their plans together in the process of weaving their plots. 12. 102. With regard to the story of Moses and the people of Madian, it was said to Rasulullah, you were not on the western side when we decreed the commission to Moses, nor were you a witness of those events. 28. 44. This means that all these matters of the unseen were revealed on Rasulullah via wahi. Without wahi Rasulullah was not acquainted with these details. We do relate unto you the most balanced side of stories, in that we reveal to you this portion of the Quran. Before this, you too were among those who knew it not. 12. 3. Not only matters of the unseen, but all of that knowledge with which the recipient of wahi is not acquainted himself. 4. 113. 10.11 Specific knowledge. This is the reason that a Rasul is not the product of his environment, otherwise his knowledge would not be able to progress beyond everything around him. It is on the basis of wahi that he possesses a distinctively different knowledge from his compatriots. Noah informed his people, I but fulfill towards you the duties of my Rabb's mission. Sincere is my advice to you, and I know from Allah something that you know not. 7. 62. Leaving aside the general environment, the knowledge of the recipient of wahi, which he obtains via wahi, is distinctly different from members of his own family and even from his forefathers. Abraham told his father, O my father, to me has come knowledge which has not reached you. So follow me. I will guide you to a way that is even and straight. 1943. 10.12 Types of wahi. The wahi which Rasulullah received from the direction of Allah became preserved within the Quran. There is no wahi anywhere outside of the Quran. That which is commonly stated amongst us that there are two types of wahi. 1. Wahi matlu, i.e., that wahi which is recited, and the other wahi non-matlu, i.e., that wahi which is not recited. There is no authentication available from the Quran for this belief. Authentication is only available from the Quran for one type of wahi, and that wahi is within the Quran. This Quran has been revealed to me by wahi, that I may warn you and all whom it reaches. 6. 19. As written above, wahi is specifically for the Anbiya and is not received by a non-Nabi. At a few places in the Quran the word wahi has also been used in reference to a non-Nabi, e.g., about the mother of Moses it is stated, so we sent this inspiration, wahi, to the mother of Moses. Suckle your child, but when you have any fear about him, cast him into the river. 28. 7. Or about the companions of Jesus it is stated, and behold, I sent wahi to the companions to have iman in me and mine messenger. 5. 111. It is obvious that in these places the word wahi has been used in the connotation of giving command, regardless of what the means for this may be. This command to the mother of Moses may have been communicated via some Nabi and to the companions of Jesus via Jesus himself. In these verses, the meaning of Oha is not to enact that kind of wahi which is the type of wahi that used to be communicated to the Anbiya. That wahi never used to be sent towards a non-Nabi. Nor can it be sent to anyone now. As far as Kashf and Iljam are concerned, these are not mentioned in the Quran. Muslims have borrowed these from others. In the words of Iqbal, in the land of Islam, mysticism is an alien plant. Nowhere in the Quran is it stated that after the revelation of the Quran Allah will continue to communicate something via Iljam to certain exalted personalities. He sent down the Quran, completed it and made it immutable. 6. 111. He took the responsibility for its protection on himself. 15. 9. And in this way closed the door of Nubuwwat for all times. Now there are only two means of knowledge. This book of Allah, and in order to reflect and ponder on it, human intellect and reasoning. Henceforth the authority for deen is the Quran, and knowledge and vision is the means to understand it. Kashf and Iljam have no connection with deen. 10.13 Summary of discussion. The desire for immortality is the yearning of the human heart. He wishes to live forever. Study the metaphorical description of the start of human life, i.e., the story of Adam. Iblees took advantage of this vulnerable aspect of Adam and deceived him by saying this to him. Come, I will tell you the secret of immortal life. He said that the route for the survival of the self is procreation, and the preservation of race and lineage can be achieved through intellectual means and resources. In other words, he said that man is a mechanical creation of the process of evolution, and the problem confronting him is only that of a solution for his physical needs and requirements, and this solution can be sought through the physical sciences, i.e., through intellect. This means that according to the ideology presented by Iblees, man has no life other than the physical one, and it is the survival of this physical form which is a mortal life. Contrary to this, the creator of nature has stated that it is wrong to say that man is merely a more developed form of the animals, and that the only problem facing him is that of physical needs which can be obtained through knowledge of the physical world. The human nafs is beyond the domain of matter, and the secret of immortality lies in the strengthening of the nafs. There is no doubt in this that the preservation and strengthening of his physical self is also necessary, because this is that fort within which the army of his self resides. However, the objective in sight is not merely protection of the physical form, but is the preservation and strengthening of the human nafs. And this preservation cannot be achieved through knowledge of the sciences, intellect, or knowledge of reasoning, because knowledge of the sciences is related to the physical universe, and the human nafs is beyond the world of physics. For this, such a guidance is needed whose fountainhead is beyond the physical world, and its name is Wahi. Right from the first day until today, this is the one question which continues to be the cause for a dilemma for mankind, and this is what is termed as the tussle between Iblees and Adam, i.e., one group claims that this human life is nothing but the life of this physical self. Therefore, the solution for human problems can be found through scientific knowledge. Intellect. There is nothing beyond intellect. In opposition to this, the other group is one which states that human life is not merely this amalgamation of clay and water, rather this mold is the abode of the human nafs. Real life is the life of the human nafs, and it is the preservation of this which is, in truth, preservation. Since the human nafs is beyond the physical world, therefore the solution for the problems of its preservation and existence cannot be found in the physical world. Instead, such a light is needed for its guidance which is forthcoming from that world to which the human nafs is related. The sphere of this light, Wahi, is so vast that intellect, science of reasoning, fits within it, but it, Wahi, cannot fit into the limited and finite sphere of intellect. These two ideologies of life are two distinct and separate foundations on which the edifices of two different civilizations become established. It is our daily observation that there are also certain things within man which are, in reality, out with the domain of the science of reason. Instinctive habits, voice of conscience, aesthetic proclivity, choice and intent. Their connection is not with the physical body of a human being. There is no doubt in this that these European physicists, for whom there is no other world beyond that of matter, have made a great effort that interpretations based on matter about these entities be presented. But gradually scholars and researchers from there have themselves rejected these, and now the approach of modern research is in this very direction, that all of these matters are about the human self, which is not the creation of this physical self. They have also endeavored to conduct research into the nature and reality of the nafs, but since the nafs is not an entity of the physical world and their means of research are from the world of physics and philosophy, therefore knowledge of the reality of nafs cannot be obtained through these means. At the most they can debate about the essentials and associations of the nafs, or its domains of influence and implementation, but cannot go beyond this. Our universe is a world of tangibles in which changes continue to take place at every moment. But behind this universe there is one reality which is out with these changes. The secret of the universe cannot be discovered until the reality is comprehended. When life becomes acquainted with consciousness, then the nafs becomes individualized. Hence, in order to recognize the nature and truth of nafs, it is essential to comprehend the secret of life or reality. It should be emphasized that the nafs, human self or personality, is not a product of life or consciousness. The Quran terms it as divine ruh. This is bestowed on every human being with birth from the direction of Allah. However, awareness of its individuality takes place at that stage when life becomes acquainted with consciousness. In fact, it can be said that man's consciousness of his self is the fundamental trait of the nafs. Through study of the physical world, science or physics, glimpses of only those aspects of reality can appear before us in which it manifests itself visibly, but this is not a full comprehension of the whole reality. And then it is also not possible that different aspects are aggregated at one place and that their sum total becomes a complete reality. This can be understood in other words as science being able to see reality in pieces only, not in totality. And until the time that reality does not appear before us in totality, the mutual connection and arrangement of its various aspects cannot come within our comprehension. Therefore, whatever system becomes defined for the collective human form through the use of intellect alone, even though it may be beneficial for some aspect or other of human life, it can never be beneficial for the evolution of the whole of mankind. Only that system can be beneficial for it which is defined by keeping the totality and eminence of man in front. This is what is termed in the Quran as deen. And as already noted, this is not within the realm of the intellect. For this, some fountainhead beyond human intellect is needed. The world beyond intellect is that of metaphysics, so we now need to see whether it is possible to grasp the whole reality in the world of metaphysics. And if it is, then at what point? In knowledge which is not based on intellectual reasoning, firstly the sphere of instinct or conscience appears before us. Reality is an indivisible unity, hence the outcome of comprehension of reality should always and at every place be the same. But the difference in instinct, and variation in the voice of conscience, is an observed phenomenon. This is the very state in wajdan, intense proclivity. Therefore, instinct and wajdan cannot comprehend reality. After this, the world of mysticism appears before us, but if we look closely, then this can be included in the world of wajdan merely on this basis that the outcomes of the power of the nafs, power of the will or power of thought, cannot be understood or be made to be understood through intellectual reasoning. Therefore, this is excluded from the limits of intellectual reasoning. And due to this aspect that this technique is entirely based on an acquired skill and can be enhanced through practice and meditation, it cannot be declared as a fountainhead of knowledge, it is a skill. Then, like instinct and wajdan, the outcomes of mysticism are also mutually different, and this difference is not minor or slight, rather it is of principle and is fundamental. Furthermore, this experience is also exclusively individual and does not hold within it any message for the collective existence of mankind. If we examine its modus operandi of thinking, we see that this shuts its eyes to the outside world and considers that the internal and external world are two separate departments which are not only unconnected to each other but are opposite to each other, even though two aspects of one reality can never be mutually antagonistic. Hence, the world of mysticism also can never fully comprehend reality. After this, the last station of non-reasoning knowledge comes before us, which is called the status of nubuwwat. This is that knowledge of reality in which there is no role of effort and skill, hence it is absolutely bestowed from outside. It is this knowledge which is called wahi. There is never any kind of contradiction anywhere in the teaching obtained through wahi. Wahi is the complete representation of a human being. Consequently, the system established according to it is a guarantor of the nourishment and completion of the sum total of the latent potentials of man. The Quran had established this very system in practical terms. Through Rasulullah, Wahi is sent down from Allah. This means that the recipient of Wahi does not create this ability within himself through his own effort and skill. In other words, you can understand it like this, that reality cannot be made to be discovered, instead reality makes itself revealed. But this disclosure does not just happen at random. Rather, that purified heart which is aimed to become the trustee of this supreme secret of the universe occupies the highest pedestal of human eminence. This is why the recipient of Wahi is free from ancestral and environmental influences and is in open rebellion against every wrong path of the world. He witnesses reality with his own eyes, hence his eye is never deceived, nor does his heart fall into any deception. In the Quran, the word Wahi has been used for different aspects of the non-intellectual world. In these, Nubuwwat is a unique and special form of Wahi in which no one else can be included. This is the complete and sole means of comprehension of reality and is a message with revolution within its folds for humanity. Those people who attach the flimsy threads of the conjectures of the dreams and the whispers of their minds to this Wahi are not aware of the truth of Wahi. The complete disclosure of reality has taken place on the enlightened heart of the recipient of the Quran. Now the secret of human eminence lies in obedience to this teaching. And the correct form of this obedience is that the collective life of humanity should be shaped on the lines and pattern of the teaching of Wahi. Nubuwwat has ended, that is why the door to obtaining direct knowledge from Allah has closed. Now there are only two means of knowledge for man, the Quran and the human intellect.